So I guess for those who have been living under a rock or never read the news, Facebook had this cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's why.
That's me, that's me.
Facebook had this cryptocurrency. Yeah, that's you. I know. It's all at you, bro. Facebook had this project called Libra. They changed it to Diem because, well, that's just... Oh, it's Facebook, right? Everything that Facebook does is wrong and has a lot of scrutiny. And, well, I guess this is the impact of it. 2 years ago, they wanted to launch a cryptocurrency. They wanted to launch a stable coin that was a basket of currencies. So a bit like the Singapore dollar is a basket of, foreign currencies. Similarly, they wanted a stable coin that you could use in crypto. That was a basket of there's the Swiss francs and the USD and all that. That got knocked back. People did not like it. And they said, okay, fine, we'll just do USD. And, well, I guess the latest news is the Fed still doesn't like it. So they're shuttering the whole project. They're selling, I think, 200 million worth of assets, which they had accumulated for Diem to Silvergate, who was supposed to issue the stablecoin. So I think that's that. In terms of how it affects Facebook, come on, it doesn't affect Meta or Facebook, right? They are so
small
big.
Bump
want to
in the road.
it's small potatoes. It's 200 mil. Come on, guys, not worth getting out of bed for. But that's. I mean, it's definitely a dampener in their Web3 plans if they don't have their own coin. But plenty of stablecoins out there. They can use them. I think what I really wanted to get your thoughts on was to use this to talk about stablecoins in crypto in general.
Right.
So, Jefferson, why don't we start from you?
Nice. I don't really have a particular view about DM for sure. It's fairly new coin and everything. But there's a lot of essentially there's really a lot of stable coins out there, right? Like USDT, UST, DAI, Magic Internet Money, which come under fire as of late.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I'm more interested to look at is this whole company that's acquiring the technology assets, right? Which is Silvergate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's no surprise that Silvergate would look to build on projects such as DM for sure to basically further its stablecoin initiative. If a transaction were to materialize, then I think that we expect some form of investor focus to be on whether the path forward for DM would be different under a third party ownership structure. So that's something to think about also. And I think if this whole Silvergate Capital, right?
Silvergate.
Yeah,
yes.
Silvergate Capital.
Yeah, Silvergate
if they are
Capital.
successful, then the financial ramifications could actually be very significant because if you think about a stablecoin business could actually drive meaningful amounts of payment revenue. Like you look at USDT, why they actually still like the whole crypto markets are basically using them, despite not knowing what's on the back of it. And they are just earning so much payment revenues from this whole thing. And definitely will drive a fundamental leap in the company's valuation and away from the bank valuation construct as well. So they are no longer going to be seen as like a crypto bank kind of thing, but more of like a stable coin business. So that's something interesting that I would look and see whether we can, put a play on.
Yeah. Interestingly, I did not know this before. Silvergate is listed.
Yeah,
so they listed last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So and we talked about stable coins I think way back in last year and we talked about how stable coins are kind of like a bank, right? Because you issue a stable coin and people give you money, so it's backed as 1-to-1, theoretically, unless you're a Tether, in which case nobody knows. Right. And then you take that money and you earn returns on it, whether that's in the crypto world, in TradFi, whatever, right? And you make the spread. So, and I guess Silvergate kind of has that competitive positioning as a crypto bank because I see their name crop up when I transfer money into Gemini.
Right.
So that's I think maybe something interesting to look at is Silvergate is not your usual bank, right? And if you are bullish on crypto, you are bullish in terms of the expansion of the market cap instead of direct crypto exposure, right? Instead of opening a Gemini account, all that, go by Silvergate, right? They're still a bank that's regulated. They're safe in that respect. And yeah, maybe that might be a good proxy if you get the regulation and a bit of exposure that way.
Yeah. I think one question I have here, Anthony, is what did that do to the stock after Silvergate was going to buy this from off of FB? Do we know? Did the market kind of like it? Or too early to tell?
Registered,
it didn't really move, to be honest. I think no one really know what Silvergate is.
Right.
But I think where we should really look for more color should this whole transaction materialize. I think there's 3 questions off my head, right? One is, was this whole sale of Diam a competitive process? The second one is, would the regulators permit Diam issuance to proceed under the Silvergate ownership, or would the project still be on hold until the whole regulators stablecoin guidance come out? And then the last one is really, what would the Silvergate distribution strategy be for Diam? And to what extent can this what extent could any of the members of Diam association be involved as well? Because they come from an association.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah, I think we can actually answer all of that.
Nice.
So the first question is, was it a fair process? I don't think it was. I think it was just a transfer process, and that's because Silvergate Capital is one of the investors in Diam, right? They are one of the association members. The entire project was meant to be backed by money held in Silvergate Bank, right? So this was really just then they had prepared essentially 200 million cash to back whatever the initial issuance was, and if the issuance, and since the issuance is not going to happen, they are just going to pass the money, and essentially distribute it back to shareholders. So that's just a movement in cash. That there's no asset in that sense. I don't think there's any sort of technology transfer in that sense as well. The second question, will it go ahead? I think the answer quite unequivocally is no, right? You have, and I mean, you think about it from a regulatory perspective, right? If you were to allow somebody to issue a stablecoin, you want them to be a bank because, they are like banks, they're regulated. You want a tech company to be involved because, they know the tech ideally and they can deal with technical issues. And you want them to be, big in the US so that they are in your home jurisdiction and you can kind of capture them and punish them if they act improperly, right? And you can audit them and do whatever you need to do with them. And I mean, if you zoom out, I think Diam met all of these. They were pretty much one of the ideal people who could have issued a USD stablecoin, just from regulatory perspective, and they failed. And we don't know exactly why they failed. We don't know exactly why the Fed opposed it. But if they couldn't get it past the line, I think it's hard to see who could get it past the line. You just have to be shady, move to the Bermudas or the Caymans, and do your issuance there. Then you're fine. Right? This is stupid. If somebody wants to do it properly, you don't let them do. You want them to be dodgy, then okay, lor. So be it.
Spoken like a lawyer, huh?
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know. I read this. I was like, this doesn't make sense. You would rather people go to Twitter and not know where their money goes than have it in a US bank account and be backed by Facebook. Like, are you kidding? What's wrong with you?
Fair enough.